So I play lots and lots of simulators. Whenever a new one becomes available that even looks remotely decent, I will try it. And Deconstruction Simulator, the Prologue, has just recently released on Steam. So I got this one installed and I loaded into it. And I'm going to ignore the voice acting for the time being, but don't worry, we will get round to that, because I have a couple of things to say about it. I'll even let you listen to a little clip so that you guys can make up your own minds about it too. But jumping into the gameplay portion of it, at first you start off with some very basic contracts, and remember, it's just a prologue. However, they have said that this prologue is to give people a taste of what is to come. In the full release, there is going to be more vehicles, more tools, more contracts. Like, there's going to be basically more content than what there is in the prologue. And starting off, I'm going to say it's a tiny bit janky, but what you do is you start off a contract, you grab yourself a brick pallet and you get yourself a little bucket for like junk to go in so that you can essentially like recycle it and earn some money. You go to a contract which will be going to a house, and there might be special requests from the owner saying they want you to recover their wardrobe, their dresser, their TV, their washing machine so that they can keep it. So you go and put that into the customer van, and once you've done all of those, you go and do all of the deconstructing that you are assigned to do. So you might have to smash down some bathroom walls or something like that. And the gameplay is okay. Like, it's a decent game. I like the concept of doing some deconstructing, because normally you've got things like Construction Simulator. You normally have games where you're building or renovating, which is destroying and like rebuilding. Whereas this one is Deconstruction Simulator, so you are there to deconstruct and destroy everything. So you do these contracts, you have a list of what you need to do, like the order. So you might have to recover a couple of things, destroy a few walls, and you might have to take some items back to the warehouse. Like, there was one contract I did where they tasked me with taking, I think it was a table and chairs. I had to take them back to the warehouse. That was successful. And then what you can do is you can basically order a like delivery, like pickup sort of thing, where you will give this company, say, wooden beams and tables and chairs and things, and you'll sell them. They are things you can take from the home you've been given a contract for that gives you the ability to make a bit of extra money. However, if you do mess that up and you take the wrong thing, you destroy the wrong thing, you're going to get penalties, and they're quite hefty. You can do an entire contract in this game and earn $250, yet you make one mistake with your sledgehammer, and you are paying $75 in a penalty, like fine, fee, whatever. But you go about your day, you're doing these contracts, and you might lose a bit of money, you're going to make some money, you might get some cool things to take back to your warehouse. But the first problem I noticed with this is that you get to buy different vehicles, and I'm going to guess the only thing is that you get a bigger capacity, or you'll get like a wrecking ball. I named my company Miley Cyrus because you get wrecking balls. So you might be able to buy yourself a big ass bit of machinery that's got a wrecking ball attached to it, which is going to help you with the demolition of stuff, like the deconstruction of it. But you would think when you're buying bigger and better vehicles, especially when it's things like vans and box trucks and things like that, you would think you'd get to drive them. But they are purchased, you put things in them, you take things out of them, and they are essentially just used as a fast travel mechanism. So you'll just jump into the driver's seat, click on a thing on the screen, like it brings up like a menu sort of thing, and then you are going to be fast travel to your location. And I noticed when I was doing one of the contracts, I got a little bit confused because they had told me to scan objects and it shows you a rarity and a price. However, all of the things, all of my tools at the bottom right of the screen were all locked. However, when I pressed the corresponding number on my keyboard, I was able to use said tools that were supposedly locked. So it's just a minor issue, but it was confusing. I didn't actually know whether I was able to use the scanner or not, but I tried the number on my keyboard, it worked, so I just cracked on. And then I'm going to talk about the AI. I say AI, the voice acting, as it should be. However, it is just purely AI. This is the most fucking disgusting voice acting I've seen in any game. You can tell it's fully created from the ground up by AI. At the very beginning of the game, I'm going to play this sound clip now.
A simple job? Yeah. I'll call you right back. I'm getting there. Okay, here I am. Enter the crane, whack the ball, easy money. At least that's what the boss kept saying.
You are going to hear just how bad it is, but then it gets even worse when you're at your computer, and there is the mention of DLC for a game about battleships or something, I don't know. But listen to this sound clip as well.
Now that I have that out of the way, I can close the contract. Too bad I have to wait until tomorrow to get paid. I wanted to buy that new DLC with the big battleships for my ship game.
So yeah, they've created a game and they've used a bunch of AI voice acting, which was really, really annoying. From the first moment I heard it, I was already frustrated with it. I don't want to hear that shit. Just hire someone, even if they're cheap, get them in and get them doing the voice acting. Because I can guarantee, like, it's one of the first things you hear when you play the game, and I can guarantee that's going to put a lot of people off playing this game. Because they don't know how much work's gone into the game through development, or if it's just been created by AI. And the moment a company starts using AI for things like voice acting, they kind of lose a bit of credibility with game creation. Or at least that's how I see it anyway. But then as I progressed, I started doing a couple of contracts. I did want to finish every contract in the prologue. However, I came to a massive brick wall, and I don't mean a brick wall that I'm going to be able to destroy. I mean this brick wall was made out of bricks that cannot be destroyed. Something like how bedrock was originally in Minecraft. So what happened was, I was tasked with going into this house, dismantling a couple of bits of furniture, saving them for the customer. Then I was told that I can either take things from the bathroom to the warehouse, or I can destroy those said items. But I was also able to take a sofa, so I've grabbed the sofa, chucked it in my van, run out of space. And that's why I believe there are other vehicles in the game, so you can get a bigger capacity in the back, and I would have been able to take every object. And because I wasn't able to take anything else, I did the scanning to find that, I think it was like the ceiling light, or there was something, I think it was washing machine and toilet from the bathroom. I could take those, because they would fit in the van together, or I could take the sofa. I scanned them, found that the sofa was worth more money, chucked that in the back of my van, and thought, because I've not taken anything from the bathroom, my other choice was to destroy everything and earn extra money that way. So take the sofa, smash the shit out of everything in the bathroom. So I did exactly that. I got everything in the bathroom and I smashed it to pieces. However, in my orders, it said that I had done 1 out of 6 items, and I don't even think there were 6 items in that bathroom to begin with. So I had lost out on the additional $100, which is quite a lot of money, especially early game in Deconstruction Simulator, and I lost out on it because the game didn't register that I was breaking things properly. And I couldn't take them, I didn't have enough room in my van, so what I did at that point, I realised the order was messed up. I wanted to see what would happen if I got penalty after penalty. I smashed up things that I wasn't supposed to, so I started demolishing or deconstructing the entire fucking house. I went for the TV, I went for the toilet, the bathroom walls, I started smashing up the floor. I got to the kitchen, I broke the fridge, I destroyed the sink and the counters, the worktops, whatever you want to call them. And that's where the biggest problem came into the game. The game could not handle me deconstructing the kitchen. I was getting these penalties, $75 a pop. My star rating was going red. It goes gold stars, but it started to go red where I was doing such a bad job. And then it hits. The game starts locking up. When I'm smashing things up, every time I swing that sledgehammer, the game freezes for a good 5 to 10 seconds every time. And the more I smashed up in the kitchen, the less the game could handle it, the longer it would freeze for, until it got to the point where it froze for about 20 seconds and I quit. That was it. I'm not going to put up with this shit, regardless of it being prologue, demo, beta, early access, alpha, full release. I don't care what it is. This game is about deconstructing things. I wasn't able to deconstruct a kitchen because the game kept locking up. And if I get the full game, I pay money for it. I go to a big job because there should be some gigantic contracts in this game, right? You're there as a deconstructor, whatever you want to call yourself. You're there to destroy things. If the game starts locking up when there's a few different entities on the floor, like I've destroyed a brick wall, then the game can't handle anymore, what's going to happen if I sit there and I go through some of the lockups on a bigger job? Say I have to go into a brand new built warehouse. It is quite a big place. I go in there, start deconstructing, and the game starts locking up. The further I get, the longer it gets. By the time I'm done with that warehouse, I would have spent more time in a lock-up frozen screen than I would have done playing the mission, and each time it locks up, each swing of that sledgehammer is probably going to start taking 10 minutes plus, just for the game to recover. So until the developers have sorted this stuff out, there's at least a month or two, I reckon, until the game releases, so they've got plenty of time to get their fingers out of their arse and sort out the problems. But until they have sorted it, I'm not interested in this game anymore. It has really, really annoyed me that a prologue, the simple beginning of a game, has voice acting from AI that is so bad it's annoying. And it's got lockups in small deconstruction jobs when the jobs are supposed to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And I also noticed that you get wealthy clients, poor clients, like, so some have basically got money, some haven't, yet the ones that don't have money seem to give you the more complex jobs. And what that tells me is when the full game comes out, whether it's early access or not or whatever, they might have me go into a wealthy client that's going to give me $200 to smash up a tiny little bungalow, whereas I go to a poor client that's got no money but they're going to give me $1,000 to destroy an entire fucking mansion. Like, how hard can it be to sort out a prologue? If you're developing a full game, why is it so difficult to get a prologue right? It absolutely baffled me. So that's my thoughts and opinions on Deconstruction Simulator, the prologue. It's really enjoyable. I actually thoroughly enjoyed smashing down the walls, recovering the items. I like the fact there's different vehicles and you basically got like a little B&Q warehouse sort of thing. You've got different sections for your wooden beams. You've got different sections for furniture that's packed up because you've disassembled it. You've got these little like spotlight sort of pallets or crates or whatever for chairs and stuff. You get to order a pickup so that you can sell things and make even more money. I enjoy the concept of this game. I really enjoyed the gameplay, but the AI voice acting needs to go and the game needs to be optimized. I think it's scheduled for a Q2 2025 release. If they don't get their fingers out immediately, this game ain't going to be ready. And it's going to be yet another simulator that goes down the fucking drain because devs just don't put enough time into making a quality product. There's been so many mid to poor games released recently. It's an absolute joke. I want something that I can play that's fun, because I've got another video coming up shortly after this one about another game that's launched into early access far too early. It's buggy as shit and it's not good, but we will talk about that one in the next video. What we're going to do is leave that video there. Let me know your thoughts about the Deconstruction Simulator Prologue in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I hope you enjoyed it.